know what is happening over at Catrice nowadays, but we have another surprise collection. All of a sudden it dropped at Boozy Shop. If you want to know where I shop these items, we have the Desert Dune collection. Seems very summer themed. We have some bronzers, we have liquid shimmery eyeshadows, we have a hair clip. I didn't get that one. And then we also have 2 mousse blushes. And I'm very excited to try this all out, so let's get into it. The first thing that I want to try out with you today is the new liquid eyeshadows that Catrice came out with. I got all 3 of the shades. These are described as shimmer eye tints. My cat is not in a mood to sit still. I'm kind of hoping that he will just like settle down so I can film. But I'm home alone, so I'm his only entertainment. Alright, so these are shimmer eye tints. We have 3 shades in total that all have kind of like these sandy nudie tones. One is a little bit more burgundy. There's 4 milliliters in this product, and these were made in the PRC, so they were made in China. This packaging, by the way, makes me think a little bit of the Kiko Milano Gold Reflections collection. Doesn't mean that they copied them, but it gives me kind of like Kiko Milano vibes. And something that also gave me Kiko Milano vibes is that the actual name of these products is only on the outer protective packaging that you take off to be able to use this. So I don't know the actual names of these. It does say the numbers, but not the name. I always think that's a strange thing to do. Like, why name it if you don't put it on the actual product? Alright, I'm gonna zoom you in. We're gonna do an eye look. Okay, I have applied a little bit of eyeshadow primer. I'm kind of thinking what I want to do, but I think I'm gonna start out with the shade C01. This one doesn't even have the number on the packaging. Why does the other one? One of these did have a number. This one is C01. Which is this one? I'm gonna start out with the taupe one, and I'm just gonna apply that in the inner third of my eye. Ooh, it does seem like a really nice color, but these did swatch quite satin, so I wouldn't really think, I'm not really thinking that these are gonna be actual like shimmer eye tints. Like, can you see it? It's more of a subtle satiny sheen. Like, maybe there's a little bit of shimmer in there. Like, I do see something that could be described as a subtle shimmer. It actually looks quite nice. I quite like that. I do really like the color of this, and I do like that we are getting some eye products once again from Catrice. Like, I would love to see another limited edition eyeshadow palette, but like this is cute. I like it, and I have a feeling that these are gonna be pretty long lasting. Usually when it comes to cream and liquid eyeshadows, these are the types that will actually last on me because they are like a dry down formula. Okay, this actually looks really good. Like, this could be such a good one and done eyeshadow. Like, I actually think that is really easy to use, and I think it's looking really nice. Alright, so then we have another mystery color. Oh wait, the color number is with the ingredients, so right before the ingredients. So this was CO2, the one I just used, and now I'm gonna use CO3. I'm gonna put a little bit of that. This seems like a really nice cooler tone, taupey, darker brown. I'm gonna put a little bit of that in the outer corner, and I'm gonna kind of create some depth with that. I like these so far a lot. Like, I was thinking I would probably enjoy these, but I didn't know if they were gonna be like anywhere near a favorite. Like, sometimes you just don't know. It's not really the type of product that I usually reach for, but I do like the way these blend and just the look of them on the eye, and just the idea of having a very like easy flattering look to do in the summer. I do like the effect of them. They are not too subtle for me. I do feel like there's a slight, like really small shimmer particle in them. I think that's really interesting. Like, it's a really nice formula. Did it actually say that these were waterproof? I don't know if they actually state that these are waterproof, but usually these type of liquid eyeshadows are pretty long lasting. I just feel like these are pretty buildable, and because of that you just have some options of what you want to do. Like you can make it a little bit more sheer, you can make it a little bit more impactful. It's not like right away. It's not the type of product that only looks good when built up fully. I think this is looking really good. I kind of want to use this shade CO3 on the lower lash line. And I'm gonna take a little bit of this on a brush. So I'm just gonna take it right over here and I'm gonna connect it. And I'm not even dipping in again. I'm just using the rest of that on the other side. Gonna go back in with the more fluffy brush to blend it together over here. You do have a little bit of time to blend, but it does dry down, so don't wait too long. Okay, I feel like these have fully dried down. I do feel like with these type of products, it's always gonna be a little bit of a messiness almost to look. Like it's looking good, but it's also looking a little bit undone and smudged. Like you're gonna have that look. I think if you use this one on its own, it will probably be a little bit less so, but when working with dark colors, it's gonna look a little bit more almost messy. I want to take the burgundy shade and I want to use this as a liner. So I'm gonna take a little bit on a brush and I'm gonna use this like a liquid liner, which is also a way you can use these. And I'm gonna use a little bit of that underneath here. Kind of like a liquid version of a shadow liner. And you can go a really long way with these. Gonna take a little bit more on the brush to do the other side. Alright, so this is the eye look with mascara and I'm actually really liking how this is turning out. It's a little smudgy, it's a little grungy, and it doesn't mean that it has to be this way. Like you could clean up the edges a little bit, add a little bit of structure with some matte eyeshadows, but for the sake of this video, I want to do a look just with these liquid eyeshadows. Alright, next up in this collection we have the matte cream bronzer, and this is the Desert Dune matte cream bronzer in CO1 New Desert. And we also have CO2, but I decided to go with the lightest shade. This feels kind of like a more putty, almost like a Super Shock bronzer. It feels really like soft to the touch, and then as you swatch it, it becomes very like soft, focused and blurring. I kind of feel like this is gonna be a more cloud-like type of bronzer, and I'm really excited about this. The shade of this is kind of on the neutral side, and I feel like it's gonna be pretty buildable. As I swatched it, it felt very soft. So I'm gonna grab a Cinch F05 and I'm gonna take quite a bit of this because I just feel like it's gonna be a little bit on the softer side. And I'm gonna apply that to my cheeks. Okay, this is so soft focus and blurring. Like I did have a little bit of shine on my cheeks from a little bit of foundation that I applied. Ooh. This is really nice. Just look at how blurring and soft focused that looks. I don't feel like this is the very cool tone bronzer. It's also not very warm tone, but it's definitely not for the super cool toned makeup lovers. It's not a contour shade, not that it is saying that it is, but sometimes bronzers can be pretty cool toned, but this one definitely is a bit more neutral. This is beautiful. This is actually beautiful. It's very soft focus, very easy to blend. I feel like it has a really natural effect to the skin, and it's not really creamy. Well, it's creamy, but it's not a super creamy, like melting product. Like it's picking up like a putty bronzer. Okay, I love this on my forehead. This is really, really nice. Okay, I think they did a great job with this formula. It does feel a little bit like a Super Shock bronzer, or like a little bit more of a pigmented version of the cloud bronzers from Gloss Gods. Like this is really, really nice. It still has a little bit of a skin-like finish to it. It's not too matte, and it does dry down fully because it's really like that putty cream to powder formula. I think this is really, Really beautiful. Okay, so far I'm really liking this collection. I also really enjoyed the Eternal Red collection that I also did a video with. That was only 2 weeks ago, but that also was a really nice collection. I feel really good in this makeup right now. This is really nice. Lastly, for this video, I bought the 2 Mousse blushes. So we have the Catrice Desert Dune Luminizing Mousse blush. And we have 2 shades. These are also made in the PRC, and the bronzer is also made in the PRC. I feel like Catrice is making most products in the PRC nowadays. These blushes have 10.5 grams of product each, and I don't see the names on the packaging here. Oh wait, I had to read it a little bit better. Okay, so we have C01 Desert Rose, and C01 Desert Rose is kind of like a very, very, very warm rose. Definitely has something a little bit bronzer-esque to it. These feel very creamy to the touch. They swatch very pigmentedly, very creamy, kind of like on the thicker side. And you do see actual shimmer particles. And these kind of like golden shimmers. So it's not like a sheen. It's definitely like a shimmer. These swatches are really promising. I think these are going to be very pigmented. I think these are going to be very shimmery and glowy on the cheeks. And then we also have the shade CO2 Burnt Sienna. And this is looking kind of like brown-esque in the packaging. Kind of like a dark brown with a more purpley undertone. But as I was swatching this, it actually swatched quite like berry. It did also blend out to more of a berry purple, which wasn't exactly what I was expecting of this. But I think that's going to make it a little bit more wearable for me personally. I did right away think of another Catrice blush as I was swatching this. I just immediately thought this seems so similar to the Catrice Mystic Forest cream blush in CO1 Purple Touch. So I think this is a beautiful blush formula. I really enjoyed trying this blush, and I think it's a really interesting color. And this one just looks a little bit more berry in the pan, but as I was swatching these next to each other, they blended out to basically the same shade. So I don't think you're really going to be needing both. But this one doesn't have any shimmer in it. The Mystic Forest is just a cream blush, a plain old cream blush. And the new one, the Mousse blush, is going to have a shimmer in it. Okay, I'm going to put one blush on each side and then see if I can kind of blend it together. So I think I want to start out with the lighter shade, which was the shade Desert Rose. I think it's going to be pretty warm toned, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a cute color. I'm gonna grab a blush brush and I'm just gonna... Ooh, I took quite a lot. Let me see how I feel about it. Okay, that is very pigmented. I'm gonna take off a little bit on my hand and then blend on. Yeah, I definitely see the shimmer to it. It's such a pigmented formula, but really beautiful. I actually think that is blending out really nicely. Looking really nice very quickly. I actually think I really like this one. I was a little scared that it was gonna be too warm, but it's actually quite nice and rosy. And I also don't think that this shimmer looks chunky. It definitely is there, but it just adds a nice glow to the product. I'm gonna do a little bit of a close-up because I want to see how this looks on my skin. Yeah, I feel like the shimmer is running through the product, is encapsulated in the formula in a really nice way. It doesn't seem to be laying on top. It's not looking weird. It's just looking really beautiful. So this one, I can definitely see myself wearing that in the summer. Like, this is really cute. It definitely is a very warm toned rose. It gives me kind of like the vibes of a flush that I got from being in the sun, which I do love the look of. So I think this one is really nice actually. So definitely excited about that one. Alright, I'm gonna take a little bit more of a fluffy brush for the purplish one because I'm a little scared it's gonna be too pigmented for me. I am thinking it's gonna be amazing for deeper skin tone, but is it gonna work on me? So I'm gonna dip in carefully because, as I said, it's very creamy, it's very pigmented. You don't really see it on this brush. This is the Singe F06, and I'm just gonna start out carefully. It definitely has that purple tone, purple berry tone to it. That is actually really nice. That is actually gorgeous. Do I really need a lot of this? No. I think this is the perfect technique. I'm gonna build it up though to show you. Like now you're gonna think that it is lightly pigmented, but I am actually dipping in the tiniest bit, like with the tiniest careful dip. So I think this is gonna be good for deeper skin tones as well. This is definitely a lot more cool toned. It doesn't have as much like brown in it as I was thinking. Okay, I'm gonna dip in a little bit more. I just really want to show you this color. Okay, now I think I definitely have enough. Like this is a purple cheek. That's gorgeous. I love the shimmer in this. I don't feel like it's too chunky. I don't feel like it's like emphasizing anything. And I feel like these blushes are also pretty blurring. It's looking a little crazy right now, I gotta admit. But I'm also just trying to show you the colors. But also I love a lot of blush. Alright, so these are gonna be the two blushes. I really don't feel like these look chunky in any way. So this is the berry purple one, the burnt sienna shade. And this is the desert rose shade. I think this is gonna be my personal favorite, but I feel like I could still definitely wear this because now I've built it up a lot and it looks a little bit crazy. It's a little dark for my skin tone, but I think if I just take a little bit with the right brush, this is definitely doable for me. Okay, I'm gonna grab the brush that had the purple on it and I'm gonna mix that in here. And then I'm gonna grab the brush that had the rose shade on it and I'm gonna mix it here. Okay, I think now it's similar enough. I do feel like I want to clean up the edges a little bit. I'm gonna grab my concealer brush and blend the edges. I just love doing this when my blush is looking a little crazy. Yeah, I think I'm actually liking how this is turning out. And I'm gonna go off camera, finish my look, and then I will be back with my thoughts. And this is it. This is the finished look. And I gotta say, I'm really happy with how this came out. I really like the eye look. I do have to say, it's not the most shimmery liquid eyeshadow there is. In a way, it's a pretty basic formula, but it is something nice to use as kind of like a wash of color if you want an easier look in the summer. I really love the bronzer. I think it's natural. I think it's buildable. It's definitely on the more subtle side because of that putty texture, but I think it's really, really beautiful. I do love a little bit of a more subtle bronzer. The blushes, really stunning. It's a subtle glow. Like you see the shimmer on your cheeks, but it's not chunky. It isn't looking weird. It does have kind of like a blurring effect. All in all, I'm pretty excited about this collection. Of course, I'm gonna try these products out a little bit more, but my first impression was very positive. Thanks so much for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.